Hey everybody, it's Daryl Deshawn, and before we get into this amazing artist, look at what French Royalty is doing with the staging. Whew. So I have to my right the beautiful, the most talented beings you'll ever meet. PKNOWLEDGE, how you doing, girl?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great.
It's so lovely to be here with you. You're so gorgeous.
That's you.
Reflection.
It is.
Reflection.
So before we get into these questions, how you feeling about everything?
Everything is awesome. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm excited to be here. Yeah, everything's awesome. My vibrations is up. My energy's up. I'm feeling great.
I love that.
How are you feeling?
I'm blessed.
That's great.
I'm blessed that I'm here with you.
Oh.
So I do want to jump right into, for the fans want to know. The first question I do have is, where did the name PKNOWLEDGE come from?
Okay, and it's funny that you asked me this. I have memory loss, and so I don't remember everything, but I was just having a conversation a few nights ago with my brother-in-law, and he's always the first person to hear every song, and he was like, and you remember I gave you the name. I was going by Aries at first because I'm a natural Aries. I'm born March 23rd, so I am Aries, and I wanted to elevate, and so he said I was gonna go by Knowledge P, and he was like, nah, PKNOWLEDGE. So actually, my brother-in-law gave me the name.
PKNOWLEDGE.
Shout out to Manny. Yeah.
All right, man, you did that. Okay, PKNOWLEDGE. Second question: what separates you from all the other artists out now?
Oh, that is easy. I'm an alien, straight up. I'm not on the same frequency as most people. I'm very much an individual, and my goal really is to shift the vibration of the planet with the music that I'm producing. I can't say everybody else is not on that, same vibe, but the thing is, I had like a real outer body experience, and so I feel like naturally having a bird's eye view, my head is always in the cosmos. It makes me a little bit more elevated and creative. And so I think that sets me apart from a lot of people. I'm very unique. I think I'm one in a million.
You are doing your thing, girl. You're doing it. Okay, so I have another, which brings me to the next question. So, what inspired conscious rap, and why do you think it's such a movement for the community?
Well, conscious rap to me means the world. I have children, first of all. Shout out to my babies.
Shout out to the children.
I have children, so I feel like it's very important for me to have them be able to sing my music. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like there's so many topics going on around the world today that need to be discussed. So I feel like conscious music is a movement simply because we're living in such a different time with coronavirus and racism and police brutality and not really knowing our heritage, where we come from. And so I feel like a lot of this knowledge has been erased from our conscious mind. And so I feel like it's really necessary to just bring back the old stories and the old feelings of love and, something my babies can listen to. My grandma, I don't want to be embarrassed. Like, I wouldn't want... I wouldn't want my grandma to listen to some of my old music. You know what I'm saying? I'm
sure it was probably more explicit.
I'm proud that my children, my grandmother, all ages, all races could actually listen to it.
Enjoy it.
And then also there's history, knowledge, and wisdom behind it. So that's what got me into it.
That's amazing. I love that.
The conscious wave.
I love that. Okay, so... tell us where and how did it all begin, and what gave you that spark?
Okay, this is a shout out to my father. I think it all began genetically. My dad, the first track that I ever was on, I think I had to be like 3 months old, crying in the background. My dad had a home studio. I'm like, man, So it started there. My dad and all his friends, they were like singers, and that's all we heard, like 24/7. My dad was always in there, and he's still always in there. He is definitely the hot producer behind my track, Look What I've Done. He's always been my inspiration, my father. And so, the music came from my dad. Like, it was always around us. So that's where it pretty much started me understanding that I enjoyed it. But I remember being like a young girl, and like I was my best friend because I was kind of like, to myself. And so I started writing poetry actually, and then it just evolved into the love of music. I see my dad do it, but then also when I became a teenager, um, I seen boys, right? But these guys, they were on the block doing some weird stuff. They was from LA, and I'm from Lancaster, so I didn't know what this was. But this was rap music, and I was like, oh my God, I want to be out there with the boys. So that's where I started. The boys, actually, my father, and just seeing MCs out there just, being teenagers, rapping and bringing this culture in,
So shout out to the father and the boys from LA for getting this thing started. So
right.
I have another one. So who would most likely you do a feature with if you can pick any artist of today's generation?
Oh my God, only one?
No, if you could pick any artist to feature with, period, of today's generation, who would it be?
Okay.
You can give me 3.
So, some of my top picks would be, of course, Missy Elliott. I mean, because I feel like our video would be a vibe, okay? It'd be like...
I can see that.
My heart just started beating thinking about that whole energy. Definitely Missy Elliott. She's definitely somebody I look up to in this business. Her creativity, the way she flows, her energy is definitely something that I look up to. So Missy Elliott, and then also Eminem. Shout out to M. That's my boy. And the reason why M is because he's a lyricist, and I love to play with words. And so I think he would mentally and verbally, we could come up with a hit
some amazing stuff
that is just so verbal, because I love to actually, get into hardcore rap and stuff like that. So Eminem, and of course the Queen B. I'm a part of the Beehive.
Yep.
B.
The Beehive. Y'all
Shout out
heard
to Beyonce, and rock fan.
They gonna love that.
So
okay, Missy, Eminem, and Beyonce.
Kanye too.
Yeah, Kanye is a great artist too, despite how people make him look.
Right, Kanye is a genius.
He is. I think mentally is definitely the GOAT. He has a lot of good stuff up here. So my next one, this is not more of a question. It's more like I see you as a fashionista with so many dope feels. Where does all this juice and all this drip generate from?
Growing up, I've always been a thick girl, and I couldn't really find clothes that I felt made me feel pretty,
Trust me, I know.
And so, or really complimented me. I feel like back in the day, especially now, the fashion has got a little bit better. But back in the days, big girl clothes was big girl clothes.
Yeah,
it was like no shape or
very
nothing.
out of the box, big boxy t-shirts,
right.
Big old pants.
Right, and so I just started making my own stuff, doing little accessories or doing my own swag, and people are like, "Hey, that's dope! Like, where do you get that from?" I made it. So after having kids, I actually went into the fashion world, and I had a few fashion shows out here, and DMZ decor was inspired by my children because Dylan. He's like on Michael Jackson, and so, the sleek looks and, the sophisticated looks came from Dylan. And Mariah, she's all couture. So the M was for couture, high fashion. And Zion was my little Frankenstein. He would wear 3 pair of underwears for no reason. So so you would have the crazy, sexy, cool thing going on. But the inspiration behind a lot of my fashion is my babies.
I love that.
Thank you.
Shout out to the kids.
Shout out to, and then I have another new baby, so I have to change it to DMPZ maybe. But poetry, she's definitely an amazing child as well. So.
I love that. So you mentioned before in your last song that you've escaped the darkness and came back into the light. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Well, yeah. A few years back, my life became very toxic. Everything that I was doing was toxic. My friendships, my relationships, I was doing a lot of self-sabotage. There was a lot of drugs, a lot of people, a lot of alcohol, a lot of everything, And so I reached a point where I physically and mentally overdosed off of life. And I had an experience where I flatlined. And I don't really know how long it was, how long I was actually out of this rim. But definitely all the darkness came to an end once I seen the light. Once that moment happened, it changed my life forever. I was able to experience true love. And what I mean by true love, it was something about that bright light that gave off the aura, the feeling of just love. And I never want to feel the way I felt back then. And so, yeah, I did reach a dark place, but I'm so happy to be in the light today.
Absolutely. It's beautiful that you are here today.
Thank you.
I will say that. So outside, I want to know, outside of music, who's keeping your attention? Any lovers or takers, if any?
This would be the answer to your question, right? If you're having girl problems, lucky son of a gun. I'm in love with 100 people and I can't choose one.
I love that. Y'all heard it first. She can't choose.
I can't choose. If you're having boy problems, lucky son of a gun. I'm in love with 100 men and I can't choose one.
There you have it. Well, that was a great response. We'll talk more
Just
off
keep it that way.
Okay, so would you say in this line of business, is it hard to trust and get close to people? If so, why?
Yes. Simply because I'm an empath, And so I have spent a lot of time in solitude in order to raise my vibrations and understand who I am as a person. I spend a lot of time alone. And so once you have been in a mind frame like the monks, they really do get it in with the light and their self and so I went into solitude for almost 3 years. And so just really coming back into the spotlight and just doing music, it sometimes becomes a little bit uncomfortable because I'm used to my own vibrations. I'm sometimes it's a little louder than I need or a little too quiet for me. So I'm used to kind of setting my own atmosphere, and so I feel like it is kind of hard to trust, but I believe in trust. I believe in the human race. I believe in love. And so it makes it way easier for me, even though it makes me a little uncomfortable at times, simply because just my lifestyle and how I am. It makes it so easy the way I am also because I want to give everybody a chance as well because people gave me a chance and that's why I'm here today. So, it's a reflection type thing. So yes and no, it's hard and easy at the same time.
Trust me, I understand. So I have a few more. So I have a question. When you're in the studio, what energy gives you that to write your music and come up with your visuals? Like, how does that process work?
You know what? This is really interesting. An interesting question. I love this question too. I seen an interview a long time ago, and Kanye West, he could communicate with music or something like that. It was weird. His art spoke to him or something. It was so long ago, I can't remember. But my process is kind of like that. Music talks to me. And so when I get in the studio, I'll hear a track and whatever it says, that's how I write it. But I don't write with paper either. I just listen to what the song says to me. And then if it's just hypothetically speaking, if it's like, and then I would hear that and I'd be like, what up, what up, what up,
right,
what up,
okay.
what up? And so I don't know, what up,
so whatever you hear, your mind
so it just, whatever the music does, it kind of tells me what it wants to say. So if it's a sad piano, I just listen to her words, or it's a flute, or if it's just the beat of African. Ooh, we look what done. I just turned it into an African drum, and so yeah, how I write is I let the song talk to me, and I listen, and I embody, and just feel and take all the instruments in and listen to their story.
Mm.
They have a voice to me, so that's how I write music.
And I want to piggyback. So you said you turned it to an African drum. Like, could you give us, what does that really mean?
Okay, so when I crossed over to the light, right, there was a like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Soul, but there was
I did see Soul.
A part in Soul where he got to see his whole life. And so there was a part at the light where my whole life, from birth to that moment where I crossed over, it flashed before my eyes. And there was some really sad scenes in there, like really sad. Like I see myself, you know, holding on to toxic relationships, and I cried, you know. And so a rhythm came to me though, and I said, "Ooh, look what I done. I just turned my pain into an African drum," and I would just drum it out, like, you know. And so when I came back from my awakening, literally there was things that I seen or things that I experienced that I couldn't really deal with. So I just turned everything into an African drum, and so that became my piece.
I love it, and it's a beautiful song too.
Thank you.
Beautiful song. Okay, so you have got through all the great questions. We have one more. So what's next for P-Knowledge?
Everything. Business. I'm an entrepreneur. You know, I love supporting friends and family. I'm a big supporter. I want to go and travel the world, see different sites, and be inspiration. Like, I look up to so many people, and I want people to look up to me because my heart is really good. I have plans to do music, also run some businesses. I have a company called the Yima Room. I also have a clothing company, Tribe Vibes. I want to do missionary work. I want to go feed the homeless, heal the, you know, just be like Mother Teresa walking around here. And one of the biggest things I plan on doing is living. Like, I spent 33 years existing. And so I think it's time for me to live.
To live. I love that.
And so that's what's next for P-Knowledge. Every day, a new experience. Life is beautiful when you live. Take time to smell the roses. So, yeah, that's next.
So where can the fans find you?
Oh, you guys can find me on my Instagram page, PKNOWLEDGE1111. 4 1s, y'all. I believe it's synchronicity. You could also hit me up on Facebook, LaPortia Duke. That's my government name, y'all. You can find me on YouTube under P-Knowledge. You can find me on Apple Music, P-Knowledge. The hashtag P-Knowledge, y'all. No whack records. You could just type it in, Google it. You can find me. P-Knowledge is where it's at. That's where you can find me. Everywhere, P-Knowledge.
Okay, look. Y'all heard it first. It's your boy, Daryl Deshawn, with the lovely P-Knowledge. And we had such a great time, and hopefully you guys can listen to this music, be consciously inspired by this wonderful diva. She has a lot to offer, and I just can't wait till you guys see her in her fullness. It's been such a wonderful time with you.
Thank you so much. And I want to send a special shout out to French Royalty for even making this happen.
Absolutely.
The beautiful videos that are coming has been from this company. I support this company. Y'all, if y'all want hot music videos, photography, interviews like this one, please check out French Royalty.
It has been an absolute pleasure interviewing you for the first time. It's so amazing. And y'all, stay tuned for the documentary. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, the Behind the Music of P-Knowledge will be coming soon.
And shout out to French Royalty again, because we love it here.
We love it. We love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Blessings to you.